Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's been forever, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's been a number of months, I think, and I was sitting watching TV, having wings. It's a Sunday, and I felt like, oh, and I'm tired. And usually at this time it's like 25 past 11. At this time generally, sorry, I would be cooking, but today I'm very tired because I had two speaking engagements yesterday, and so my mind has also been like on a yeah, it's racing, right? So I didn't feel settled. I think I was also taking in what yesterday was. So I felt I'm not gonna cook. Usiva went to go cut his hair, so I asked him to get us bribe meat. So that's what we'll have for lunch/supper. Yeah, and so I was watching TV because Uluhle is taking her nap, and I was like, let me steal this moment and just do this, right? Because there's not gonna be a perfect time to do this. I already had recorded a video giving you guys an update on the challenge that I did in January. And though I know it's a few months later, I just want to be transparent and open and be like, yeah, life happens, guys. We've had a rough March. We've had a rough March because of helper issues and me dipping in and out of depression because of feeling overwhelmed. And that's why, it took a while for me to actually sit down and record this, because I recorded the update as I said, but then this morning we realized we lost the memory card, or it's misplaced. I don't know. Then I thought maybe let me just re-record, because I do feel like I'm in a better space than I was when I recorded that. So we'll go with this one. And pretty, yeah. Right. So January challenge, very challenging. I finished my 100k running challenge on the 29th of Jan. And we were at home in the Eastern Cape, and I felt, let me just finish it before we get to Feb, because I had planned that it would be a new challenge for Feb, etc. That didn't happen, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I ran 100 kilometers. Overweight, having not trained in a long time, I ran 100 kilometers. I finished the 100 kilometers. There were days where I had to run 12 kilometers in a day because I wanted to make sure I completed the challenge by the end of January, which is a tick for your girl, right? But what I didn't do when I was doing the challenge was a weigh-in. I didn't do a weigh-in, and that was on purpose. My understanding of wellness and my understanding of wellness for me is not based on what size I wear or what my weight is, but it's based on how I feel, how small things, doing small tasks feels to me. And so, the weight thing and the number thing has really not been a thing that's been important to me. It was before, but I think as I've grown and matured, I've realized not important. So I didn't do a weigh-in, neither did I do a weigh-in afterwards, right? While I was doing the challenge, I think for about 2 weeks, I went on an intermittent fasting thing, which meant that there were days where I would run my first 5 kilometers and not eat until a particular time. and then later on run 8 kilometers. I think I did 12 kilometers 3-4 times so that I could reach my target. So that was done. My biggest challenge was waking up at 4, and this was because I was tired. I was tired from the exercising, but I was tired from the different tasks that I had in a day, because obviously being home, the baby Uluhle is a responsibility, but I also had to help my mom-in-law with the cleaning. And shout out to mothers-in-law who don't expect too much from their makotis, because my mom-in-law literally treats me like an egg, you know. Yeah, like it gets me so emotional. But anyway, so umama would make sure that she cooks as often as she could, but I definitely would help with the cleaning. Sometimes I would cook, but most of the cooking was done by her. And I think if this would happen 3-4 years ago, I'd probably be ashamed by that, but I'm not ashamed, guys. My being is not just contained in being, you know, a makoti or a wife to be, whatever. I'm not there. So that's what happened. And then so the waking up was a struggle, and but I did the running. I think the latest I would wake up would probably be like 5:30, and so that was, yeah, that was like my probably the latest I'd wake up. And then yeah, I survived. I had to help Osisi with the door. Anyway, so the running happened. Super proud of myself for completing that challenge. But these are the things that I learned in the process of completing the challenge. One was that a morning routine for me is important for my personal well-being. But secondly, it was how much resilience I have as a person, because I think what the running was doing was changing my mindset more than it was doing anything for my body, right? Because it wasn't like I had a particular diet while I was running. I was just running, and then I think 2 weeks into the challenge, I started doing intermittent fasting for about 2 weeks, I think, or a week and a half. But again, it wasn't like a structured thing, because I was also getting myself into this thing, right? So yeah, that was my experience with the running. But I also realized that I didn't have enough time in the morning to exercise, meditate, journal, and read, which meant I had to wake up earlier than the time I was waking up. I'm glad I did the challenge. I'm glad I finished the 100 kilometers, though I think I've run once or twice after the January challenge because of the responsibilities that I have as a mother mainly, but also with my business. So I've had to kind of juggle everything together, which has been really difficult, and that's why it was difficult for us to make time to record. Yeah, that's what the challenge taught me. I did as much as I could in terms of physical exercise, completed the challenge. I journaled as much as I could, but there were days I chose to not journal because if the previous day my journaling was so deep and like hit hard and all of that, né, I'd take a break, you know, after letting out. I'd take a break and then I'd go back into it. And I meditated on days where I could, where Uluhle was asleep over time, or I woke up a bit earlier. But I think the meditation also didn't, yeah, it was the one thing that Chem took a strain, I think. Like it really didn't work out. So, and with reading, oh, I was reading Proverbs for the entire January, and I was reading a book called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived concurrently, no, because that book is based on the life of Solomon and the teachings of Proverbs. I realized while I was reading these two concurrently that I needed more time, because the book gave me I don't know, a deeper understanding of certain principles in Proverbs. So sometimes I'd read the same chapter twice, or I'd go back, etc. Or sometimes I'd feel, yo, it's a lot, yabo, and then not read that particular day. So actually, I finished reading Proverbs, I think at the beginning of this month, probably in the second week of March. And I'm happy with that, because I was not in a race. I was not trying to compare my experience with anyone else's. I was just doing what I felt was right and what my spirit was guiding me into. And I'm absolutely happy that I did it that way. I would encourage everyone read Proverbs. You don't necessarily have to read it in a fast pace where you like challenge yourself, I'm gonna do it in a month, but read that book, because it's got so much wisdom, it's got so much power. It just is an amazing book to read if you want to restructure your life, right? And I think I found a joy that I hadn't had in a very long time through reading Proverbs, because it confirmed to me that my dreams were valid, that God was backing me up on my dreams, but I also needed to show up for certain things. And as I close this video, I think, as I said, I'm tired because I had 2 speaking engagements yesterday, and those events, or rather the privilege of the platform, touched me in a way that I haven't been touched in a very long time, about my capabilities, my gifting, and playing small with all that God has given me, you know. And I think maybe that's why today I was just like, I don't want to participate in domestic stuff. I just wanna adjust, because no, man, guys, I've been a person who really plays small, very timid about being me, my gifting, sharing my thoughts, sharing the wisdom that I have, sharing my experiences, sharing my dreams, and actually working on my dreams as well. And so I think yesterday was just one of those, so you better get on this, right? And that is basically where I'm at now. I think God is releasing me into a different season, a season where, not even different, a new season, where he's completing what he started, but is pushing me to levels I've never even imagined. And the morning routine thing continues to be a work in progress. In the past 2 weeks, I've tried to do 3 a.m. mornings where I have devotion time, then I'm writing or reading or doing like my business work. So I think the past 2 weeks have been particularly special because I felt I've accomplished certain things, you know, with days, um, which had been a struggle for me. I think for the most of Feb, because I felt like Feb I was recovering now. Yeah, so that's been my thing, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds, and hopefully I will get back into the running thing. But I've gone back to gym. I've gone back to gym. And so if I'm unable to run on the road because of safety, I will do gym. And hopefully the next video will be a young challenge on myself to do like the morning thing proper. I'm not saying I will do it. I'm just saying I might challenge myself. But maybe I should, like a young week. And there's absolutely nothing wrong when you feel tired and you want to rest, guys. Like, yo, yes, asileqondo. We are taking it day by day as God wills, and that's that. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.